With everything going on, we haven't been talking about Donald Trump and his ballroom lately. Now, Donald Trump has a new reason as to why his ballroom should not be stopped. There are multiple court cases going on trying to determine whether he had the legal authority to tear down the East Wing. I don't think he did. Whether they should continue with the renovation, whether it should be halted, whether they should be forced to restore things back to the way it was. Again, that's kind of the way I think it should go because Donald Trump started construction of the ballroom unilaterally. He didn't consult anybody, didn't follow any of the steps and the processes that would normally be there. Environmental reviews, consulting the varying oversight committees that are required because this is a national historical site. It's a park, and it is owned by the federal government. It is not his personal residence, despite the fact that he is living there. He didn't do any of that. He just decided one day, in response to a No Kings protest that saw about 10 million people out in the streets of this country telling him to fuck off, he decided he was going to tear down the East Wing. So what did he do? Well, what's his new defense? His defense is, well, it's too far along now. We've already started construction. We've already started doing all of the remodeling stuff. So because we already started, you can't stop us. Well, no, that's not how that works. He's trying to frame it as a case of, well, we've already expended this and this and this to do what we've done so far. We should just get to finish it. However, that's not the case. There are numerous examples in the law, and I'm not a lawyer, but I know I've heard of cases before where construction gets started on something and then they have to go back and restore it to the way it was. Things like that. Donald Trump is just trying to use this as an excuse to once again get his way. And in one of these court cases, we found out that he is actually considering doing upgrades to the West Wing as well because of symmetry, because of how much bigger this ballroom is going to be. Donald Trump just wants to get his way, and it's not necessarily going to work. Now, we will see what the courts end up doing if they force him to restore it to how it was. Or if he's allowed to continue. And it's also going to be a question being asked of Democratic politicians and Democratic hopefuls going out as far as 28, as far as what they think should happen to the ballroom. And should it be allowed to be finished if it's not done yet? Should it be torn down and the East Wing restored, etc.? This is going to be a long-standing question, but Donald Trump's excuse is that, well, we spent some money already, so let us continue. Isn't a great one, but it's the best thing he's come up with so far, which tells you about how far he's thinking ahead.